one of the Swami was writing, I don't remember at this point if it was from the Zohar or from the Shard of Gulum, I think, one of the other. It was today. Yudalit. The day he finished writing his last pirush on whatever he was finishing in this Galus of the Zohar, that day he passed away. He made a shahakal, heard from the son of Moshe, he made a shahakal, and the tzaddikim, they make a shahakal in this world, and the Bar Nefashis, they make an Olam Haba, they make in the next world. Mm-hmm. Or they make a shahakal because they're about to be toyim, they're entering the new world. But these tzaddikim azoicha to this Indian that they mamish, make a big. He made a tremendous relation in the world in the Sirius Nefesh, the Pshitas Mamish, was Moshe Nefesh of Klal Yisrael. Many people don't know the history behind him. Daniel, Daniel was a Tzad B'Kodesh Levracha, was Zoicha. The Mesiris Nefesh, when he was very young, when he was already in the midst of writing and being Nesalim and Esremim at very great levels of Kedusha, he became very ill with an illness that they put him into a place, into such a solitary confinement, but like in a place where nobody takes care. They were just waiting for him to die because he was so ill. And while he was there, he was crying out to the Eibishter that, what do you mean? There's any yish b'olam klal. They just left me here to die. And he said, in Shemayim, he was mamish starving. In Shemayim, he said, a hand came down and gave him bread. And Daniel, he said, the hand came down and gave him bread. When they came to get his corpse, they thought for sure he had to be dead. He was alive and well. Couldn't believe it. It was like impossible. No, they thought he was ill. He became very sick. It was very catchy, and they didn't want him to.
Who is this?
Daniel Frisch, one that wrote the Zohar Kadosh the Masuk Midrash, the translation. And the mamish, they put him somewhere, it was such a bidud, solitary confinement thing, and he was supposed to die. They didn't bring him any help. Everybody was afraid, contagious. But the Eibush already sent him lechem in Hashemayim, and he was zoicha. They said what he said was Shim Barichai, because he was zoicha afterwards to be the shliach from Shim to spread the Hilgi Zohar out to everybody. But there's the Siddur comes from the Masuk Midrash from the Zohar. Yeah, they took out.
It was man. It was man.
It was like man.
Man.
Yeah, that's right. They brought him on. They brought from heaven. They brought him bread. Yeah, the Siddur Masuk Midrash was taken. They took pieces from the Zohar Kadosh and his children worked that. They created the Siddur Masuk Midrash that has pieces from all different Kabbalistic sources. A very nice, beautiful Siddur. Very inspirational Siddur. Daniel Frisch was an English Yid who came to Yisrael after the war with a little dachikol, little teeny face in front of his ears. He was an Oberländische. He wasn't even a Chassidische. And he ended up in Yisrael. At first he became, I don't remember, there's a whole history book on him there, the family put out. The whole history how until he found the Tolda Sari Rebbe, the last one. He didn't even make it, I don't think, to Shem Ramunim. I don't think he was like to be by Rabbi. He was, but he came afterwards. He was a scarf to Rabbi Yitzchak Khan, and he became his chassid. He was like to be the son of the Shem. Shemayim Kazochile. They gave him the schus. But they gave him the schus. He came from a very pashut family. Yeah, Mamish, not a Rebbe's family. Very simple, So they were Erlich people, but they weren't a Rebbe's mishpacha. But I want to bring out a very, very important point of what I said today. Today I was learning the Chok. So first of all, I saw last night that Raza the Uvda from the Kretchen of the Rebbe was talking about the Indian of, I was looking at the Mishlat, the Avoid that gives me a lot of inspiration to read the history, this forum of these tzaddikim, the avoiders that they had, because it brings a light. The Helgi Darkei V'Shalom from the Mukach Rebbe, that's Mamish, the most awesomest. You read the Benhogim and the Anhogis, how the Helgi tzaddikim acted and how they were Mekai and mitzvahs. If we weren't zoichet to see it by ourselves, we read through the Svarim that Talmidim that saw, it gives a tremendous, tremendous infusion. This is one of the important things of discussions to tzaddikim. Our Rebbe Zolzan Gezutim and Shemai wrote this week, I said over the shir, that he wrote it in his Contrasim. It's already known from before, but Imamish brought it out so strong in the Kuda that, like we've been speaking about, better than any Tanesim and any Sigufim is the Skashrus and Mikashi yourself to Tzadikim. You're Zeichel to tremendous Tikkun Abris. It's a tremendous Tikkun Abris, Pasha the Skashrus to the Tzadikim. When you learn their ways and you follow their Svarim and when there's David to Tzadikim, and I was very happy that the Heilige, the Rebbe, as I told me from the Heilige Balasulam, Mamish, something that I've been saying the last few times in the Shir, that it's, I said it from the Bnei Sascha, but he said, Balasulam said that we have to be Mekash of all the Tzadikim in order to have Shaykhs to all the great light that they brought to the world. We don't just have from one, but have Shaykhs to all. Well, the Heilige Balasulam wrote that, and that's what I saw from Shemai, that it's important to be Mekusher to so many tzaddikim. Like this, you get the light from all over. You get more koiches and more koiches in order to be able to fight against the Yetzer Hara.
So they're going to Makasha every day, so.
Yeah. First, to Makasha themselves to the tzaddikim, follow their eitzes and learn their Torahs. But I want to get to it, so I saw last night from the, first of all, the Heilige Mishal Doi from Vlednik already brings in the Shayis Yisrael. He has a lot of tikkunim. He speaks Chiddush Dor. He speaks at length about the Indian of Shoivavim. And in there, he says one of the very important tikkunim of Shoivavim is to learn every day from the Chaykel Yisrael. The Chaykel Yisrael, that the Heilig Ariya Kodesh was Masader, that a person should not go by a day without getting all the spiritual nutrients that he needs. A person every day has to learn Chumash, from the Nevi'im, from the Ksuvim, Mishnayos, Gemara, Halacha, Kabbalah. Person has to have from everything every single day. But it's hard for everyone to be Yosek and everything. So the Heilig Ariya Kodesh already did the work for us. He was Mekabetz. He divided the Parsha, a few psukim every single day from the Torah, from the Parsha of the week, a few psukim of the weekly Haftorah, the Navi. Sometimes it changes according to the Indian of the Zman. A little bit of Musar from the Ksuvim, from Tanakh. Then you have Mishnayos, Gemara, a little piece of Zohar. Usually the Zohar is from the Parsha of the week, but sometimes also he brought a piece of the Zohar that's the Gay and Yonah de Yoma. Sometimes not showing them a lot. It's just pieces of the Zohar that infuse tremendous kedusha and big Musar, and also the Halacha. Now showing them is all in Yonah of Tshuva and such fascinating halachas that, you know, now it's all from the Rambam Hilchos Tshuva. So today, as I was learning, I got a big chizuk from the halacha. So a second, before I get to there. So the Heilige Lednik says it's very important as a tikkun for to be masakin our mistakes, to learn every single day from the Chayt Yisrael. Simply to understand it as it's Mamash as we're saying. Person has to fight the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is driving us bonkers about every Indian. Person very importantly needs to have his neshama, should have everything it needs in battle to be able to fight back the right proper way. So how is that when your neshama gets all the nutrients? Take a guy chas v'chilul that's fasting for 3 days, and you tell him, okay, chas v'chilul, put you now in Gaza, fight. You guys don't have to think the guy has no koiches. What do you mean? You have to have some koiches, you have to eat, you have to have some kind of energy to get you going. The same thing with the Yetzer Hara. You can't take a neshama that's mamish covered up in who knows what. It's missing all its nutrients and expect that he should make that he should be able to be misgaber over the Yetzer Hara. Take care of your neshama. You give it the spiritual hatzlacha that it needs. You give it Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim. You give it Mishnayos. You give it Gemara. You give it a little piece of Zohar Kodesh. You give it halacha. You give it some Musar. Now your neshama is getting the vitamin A, B, C, D that it needs. It gets everything. It's fully charged. So now I can fight Eitzari. Eitzari comes against me when the Shom is on fire. I'm connected to the Eibishter very strongly. I'm davening B'Slahavas. So therefore, it's very important every single day, it says the Shosh Yisrael, in order to learn from the Befrat and the Shoyvim, to be able to go through the Choik, in order to get everything we need to empower ourselves to be able to fight Eitzari correctly. So, I saw in the Rosh Hashanah that the correction of her, the correction of the Echtzat Kodesh Baruch Hu, he had big avoidance on Shoyvim, but he made sure every single day to do the Choik. So, I got chizik to do the Choik, and I came upon a halacha today, which was very much mechazik me, Rabbi Yisrael. And it's a continuation from yesterday's shir a little bit, but the whole thing is one dibur, one thing we're talking about. And that is, I'm telling you, the rashness of being makir, that it's okay to do tshuva. That means, what do you mean it's okay to do tshuva? It's not something to be afraid of. Maybe my tshuva is not going to be this kabul karoi. Maybe for the amount of sins I've been so sinful for, chas v'chalila, maybe my tshuva is not enough, I'll never be able to fix it. I looked into the svarim of the Kabbalist, I saw how many tanesim I need to do. There's no way I'm game over before the game started. Yeah, I'm just, I'm being very realistic. Not just, I'm like a stam yish. I'm looking at what I have to be misakin, the amount I have to be misakin, what I have to do to be misakin. If I live another 10 lives perfectly, it's still not enough to fix everything I messed up. Yeah, so I'm done. Chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom. Listen to this. The Rambam tells us in Hilchos Tshuva, he says like this. First of all, everything needs tshuva. You can have some smart aleck that thinks they have to do tshuva on. They have to do tshuva on aveirus that mamish had a ma'aser. Chas v'chalila, a person did a tremendous aveira in kedusha. Oh, messed up. A guy stole from somebody. Return the Heshivas and Zayla. But things that, my midas maybe, or my machshavas, maybe, or time and covered, I didn't hurt anybody, why do I have to do tshuva? Rambam says no such thing. Person fakert. Person has to do tshuva for everything. Sayin maisin, and sayin midas, and sayin machshava, and sayin kiddah, and sayin taiva. There's no such thing as picking what you want to do tshuva for. Everyone has to do tshuva. There's enough tshuva for everybody. Tzaddikim, the whole avoid was to do tshuva, and that's the famous question. Why do you mean tzaddikim have to do tshuva? They're not sinning, but there's always enough. And what, first of all, whether they're doing it for Klal Yisrael, or whether they're doing it for previous Gulgulim, whether they're doing it because there's always enough to be Mesakim. There's always enough. Tshuva is an avodah tzaddikim that they're always trying. Tshuva means coming close to the Eibishter. Tavshum hey, tshuva, returning to the Eibishter, returning the hey to the Malchus, to the upper spheres, which ran away the Shasid. That means that there's never an excuse for a fellow. Or there's never a time that a person says, you know what, tshuva, no, pretty good. You know, I think about a cheshbon. Tshuva, I can skip that mitzvah today. No such thing. There's always room across the board for tshuva. Tshuva is a mitzvah. Tamidus. There's always enough to do tshuva. Why? Because it's impossible to get to the level of perfect. And it's impossible to get to the level where a person feels, wow, I think I've been, getting too close to the Eibishter chas v'shalom. No such thing. Avoid is a skarvis. Tshuva is just a skarvis. Complete the skarvis. Complete cheshbon hanefesh. Complete cheshbonis and how to get close to the Eibishter. So that is not ever a time where, okay, not the avoid is not that. But he said that was the first halacha that he's teaching, and then he says like this. I got such a big chizik from him. Says the Eliger Rambam. Val yidama adam bal tshuva, shu meruchak b'madas tzaddik v'pnei avonis v'chatoy shasa. I did tshuva, but I'm so far from the emes. Look, I had to do tshuva for serious sins. That Erlich Yid that never sinned before, he's probably the real guy. He's probably so much close to the Eibishter. I can never get to the Eibishter as close as he could. Chas v'chalila ein adover kain. This is not true, says the Rambam. The Rambam says, it's a false cheshbon. Person says, but I messed up at the tshuva. Who knows? That guy is such a holy tzaddik. That fellow is such a great person. His levels are probably Ein Sof levels. Ein adover kain. The Rambam says, that is not true. That's baloney, macaroni. That's a made-up self-fadimit Indian. It's not true. Ella, what is the truth? Oh, v'nechmad ulefnei haboirei kilu lechotam eyoilach. When a person knows tshuva and is correcting his ma'asim, He's so beloved and so precious to the Eibishter. It's as if he never sinned before. It's the opposite, the mamish the opposite. His schar is tremendous because this is a fellow that was time chet, and he had mechira. If he wanted, he could have said, I've sinned, and it's geschmack. It was a geschmack avera. Now the guilt afterwards, oh boy, lack geschmack. That's time chet. Fine, now I have to fend for the whole world. I am a balavera. Now you come up and then you feel like who knows what. But the Matthias is, I had the mechira and I decided I'm going away from chet and I'm coming to the Eibishter. I'm going to be kodesh the Yitzhar. Yitzhar says, come on, you've been doing this for years. You're a guy anyways. Why do you, you're on my team? You're going to be a traitor now. You can go to the Yitzhar Toiv. What are you doing? Yes. Done with you forever. Yeah, but he's saying tshuva. We say Lashon. That we zeichen the tshuva. V'lo yesuru v'menu ad olam. I will not turn away from the Eibishter forever. When I do my tshuva, I'm not making a cheshbon. Maybe Yitzhar is going to come to me next week and bring me down again. I'm coming back to the Eibishter, and I'm not returning to my sinful ways forever and forever and forever.
I had a story that one time Yusha went to a place and he saw a bunch of old guys playing games. So he said, Israel was not mitzliach. I'll tell you what happened. He said that always he goes to Gan Eden and he sees people that he was not good and hate, and they're there. So he comes and says, I did look at Rosh Hashanah, like they do Shiva. So then he said that he got fired and he took a new one. And he said, now he's like, you can't, no more, nothing to do. Because everyone has a Shiva today. It's like, so this guy started going to the old people. Instead of them, they don't have a long time to live. They can't not master to Chazak.
This is the truth. He's going to get them. Tell you, it's schrecklich, you know what I mean? But the Yitzhar tries his best. But if a Yid could make that decision, a Yid makes that decision that he's going to be Polish from the Yitzhar, and he's going to be Kovish the Yitzhar, Chachamim say very good, but Chachamim say, Balei Tshuva, Makim Shebalei Tshuva, Oimdim, Ei Tzadikim Gemur Nichoyim Lamed Boy. Kaloimar Malasim Gedoyim Malas Elu Shalei Chat Miyom Neishen Koiv Shmiyotzram Yosemehem. Everyone has different perushim and what it means. What the Gemara says, Makim Shebalei Tshuva, Oimdim, Ei Tzadikim Gemur Oimdim. Some people try to say, does Ramish mean that? How can you say? I'm going to go with the Rambam's pshat. Yeah, people try to, how can you say Russians are better than a tzaddik? Yeah? They try to downplay the Gemara. The Rambam says straight up, the Milo of Al Tshuva is greater than a tzaddik that was never chayta. Because the tzaddik that was never chayta wasn't kovish the Eitzah the same way. Fine, kovish the Adam Pshatim. But this is what the Rambam is saying, Pshat. That when a Yid does tshuva, not only doesn't have to worry that maybe, chas v'chalila, they look at him bad, they look at him negative, they look at him so great, they look at him so special, they look at him as he's the greatest Yid that ever existed. Fakert. Not that Yid chas v'chalila has to go and sin in order to get to that level. There's enough for Yid, is misboinen to do tshuva. Baruch Hashem, we're alive and well. The Yitzhar has enough to be able to get us in trouble. And if not from these Gilgulim, from last Gilgulim, not for Kinnah, not for Taiva, the Yid HaMet Cheshbon HaNefesh will always find that there's always enough tshuva to do. And it's a very, very big chizik. It says tremendous words. And a person shouldn't be madam himself that if he's going to do tshuva, Lamaisa, who is he compared to the tzaddikim? Ein adover came. He's so much more chashuv to the Eibush, the fakert. He can even relate to the Rachmanis of the Eibush so much more. The ones who had such a Rachmanis of me. I was so in the dumps. Whoever thought I'd be able to be Zoicher, to be able to say one Erlich Baruch Ata Hashem. Whoever thought a million years I'll be able to Zoicher to learn from the Heilige Sefer. I was so lost to be able to be Mizboinim in the Eibush, to become a mitzvah karoi, and he is Zoicher to do tshuva, and his mamish was Boinim that Baruch Hashem, the Eibush to rata with me. And took me out of those matzavim and brought me into Kedusha matzavim. Fakert, it's a tremendous love that he has by the Eibishter. And that should give a chizuk for everybody to try to make meisim of tshuva and try to actually really do some pulas amitius in order to come back to the Eibishter mit der in order to come back to Avodas Hashem mit der Emeskait. They're not fuddering. I saw from the Heilige Rabbi Hillel Kalamaya, I saw he has a sefer called Eis Lasses. The sefer Eis Lasses, it's a question and answer sefer on all different types of questions and avodas Hashem. So in there, he proposed the question and he mainly writes the answers at length. So in there he's talking about, say he asks his question, is it shaykh to have Yiras Shamayim without learning Torah? It's a great question. I can't learn. I'm simple to learn. Can I still be Yiras Shamayim? Can I still have Yiras Shamayim? The answer is absolutely not. You cannot be Yiras Shamayim if you don't learn. My guy says I can't learn. So he goes on to explain at length. Do you think that they said, who can have Yiras Shamayim? Only a guy that knows Shas and Poskim Baal Peh? Only a guy that knows the Zohar HaKadosh? No, he writes them before. Everybody has a Chelik in Torah. One fellow could take out, he said, a sefer in Yiddish that has Musar. That was the spoken language. Yeah, take out an art school book that has some Torah in there that you can relate to, and you read it and you understand it. Fine, Gavaldik, that's something. A person could listen to that tape and hear Geshmak Kashir from somebody. A person is Oichetaka to be able to have a mirror. These a million, billion levels, everybody to their own. But for somebody to proclaim the limit Torah is not for me, I can't, and still think you can have Yiras Shamayim, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But Nachman writes something else. Nachman says to become a tzaddik, you can come without being a Talmid Chacham. A tzaddik, a person, fine, listen, not everybody can be a Talmid Chacham. It's not the job of everybody to be a Talmid Chacham. Everybody's job is to do what their job is in this world, and he can still be a big tzaddik. It says to be a big balasaga, to have a sagas and different lofty things that you do need Torah for. But Yiras Shamayim, you have to have Torah for. And therefore, it doesn't make a difference how much or what level something, everybody has to make a cheshbon and nefesh, what they can do. But the nekuda is, whatever you do, you have to understand that amount is chashuv miyoid by the Eibishter. Every little bit of tshuva that a person's machlet on themselves, every avodah that a person is doing to come close to the Eibishter is chashuv miyoid. Maybe I'll discuss it later a little bit by the Tish, but I saw from Rebbe the Mukha Shabbat, he said something very stark. And the nekuda goes as follows. We've spoken about this before, then I saw it inside. It was just a fresh of some geschmack. The Eibishter loves us, right? Yeah, of course the Eibishter loves us. To come here to you, the Eibishter loves us? Yes, because we have to chazer it over a million times a day. The Eibishter's crazy over every single Yid. He loves every single Yid and loves Klal Yisrael. No matter how sinful Klal Yisrael is, no matter how far Klal Yisrael is. About the Eibishter calls man that we're proud of being Yid, Yisrael is to aspire. The Eibishter is maspar with us, as I stated in Swan. So that's an open right apikoris, that's against the Eibishter, against Klal Yisrael, and is doing bad things. The Eibishter is a marachaf, he's waiting for that fellow to do tshuva. I can't say he's so proud of him. No, the Eibishter sees deeper than anybody can see, so not our place to judge. Halacha is the Rambam brings certain things to say that. But Matthias says, every Yid out there that's trying to be an Erlich Yid, every Yid out there that's trying to do his best, that has a krechts when he sins, and wants to come close to the Eibishter, and has desire, mamish, return your head, yasa. The Eibishter mamish is so happy and so proud of every single Yid. Now, what's the nekuda? The Eibishter made the process of tshuva very easy and geschmack, with tremendous bonuses, huge bonuses. That means, besides not the bonuses, that bonuses is the right word. The Eibishter gave us, you want to train a little kid how to walk, right? So what do? You take a chocolate, and you point it in front, and the kid makes a step, and then another step, and another step, until the person's Zoicha, and until you give it to him, because you want to give him something geschmack. The Eibishter made a Zoicha, now is Shovim. Shovim is a freebie Indian of Tshuva. It's mamish, if we could call it, for lack of a better word, an extra credit moment of Tshuva. Not Mechuyev, there's no Yom HaDinah. Tabshat is going to be a chasima. This is the Eibush that gave us a tremendous opportunity because he loves us. Mitoich ahavasa. Mitoich that he loves us, he gave us an opportunity to show him. Now, everyone, do tshuva. Yeah, do what you got to do. The Eibush that in this moment gave us gewaldige kalim to make the tshuva with. First of all, the Eibush has given us tzaddikim yisodei olam that have given us what to do and how to do. And besides for that, he gave us a Yom Tov of Tu B'Shvat, smack in the middle of Shovim. Tu B'Shvat and Shovim. What are you talking about? Yeah. So first of all, today, now, Rosh Hashanah Leilani is Rosh Hashanah. The Heilige Rishon said that the meaning by tzaddikim that they taka went Tu B'Shvat and Big Day Shabbos was because we know Ki Adam Eitz HaSadeh. You think just the trees are being done? And of course. But we're also being done. Ki Adam Eitz HaSadeh. It's a thing. It's an opportunity for tshuva. Rosh Hashanah is an opportunity for tshuva. It's an opportunity to be mamlich the Eibishter once again. The Mahalach had to do it, Beseder. That's the importance of Birchas Sanhedrin, to be able to say, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. Every time you say, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam, you mean mamlich the Eibishter. And Befrat, the Nekuda is, as we spoke about at length in other shiurim, Tu B'Shvat is as man, where it's brought down in the Poiskim, in the Svarim. You should make brachas, birchas haperis. Make birchas haperis. Why? To thank Hashem and to pray and bless the fruits. Why is that? So he goes at length that we know that the Peris Ha'adoma and the Peris Ilon is the fruits. When the Eibush and Bereshis first created, we know Rashi Kodesh tells us that when on the day that the fruits were created, there wasn't ready apples to come and bite off the tree. It wasn't like that. If they were ready. Adam Rishon came and he davened to the Eibush. He said, looks like the world needs rain. He davened, all of a sudden everything sprouted ready for Adam Rishon. So what do we see? We see that the first oifen of the appearance of all the Peris was fruit tefillah. That the original apple, the original asteroid, the original whatever fruit, the original grass, everything came in the schus of Adam Rishon. It was ready, but it wasn't yet there until the Yid asked for it. The Yid made a tefillah, David, it appeared in the world. Now what? Therefore, Mechlal, it's a big day of tefillah. We see the tefillah is spoiled. The Adam Rishon asked, but Tmimis to the Pshitas, we need rain, and all of a sudden everything appeared. But there's another nekuda, and that is that we know fruits are very, very special in Tzotzis HaKadoshis. Fruits are a derech b'nei malachim, frat, ripe fruits in the frat. The kings used to be able to have from all seasons. Where if you lived in a certain country where there was only seasonal fruit, you only had that fruit whenever it was. Today there's an import-export business all year, and it's just all light and gold. It's a little bit schwach. Go to America, the fruit store. You get from across Dalit countries, from the deepest African forest. You'll find some fruit. You don't know if it's poisonous, if it's a hackle, if it's a dump, if it's a moiti. You know what that thing is. Look at fruit. You find it in the fruit store, so you're assuming it's a fruit. You get any single thing. Chinese apples, American apples, Indian apples, Polish apples, whatever you want, you get from all over. You walk inside. There's never such a unbelievable. Mama shulchan malachim. Pears are very, very chashuv. Very chashuv. Different than vegetables. Pears are very chashuv. They're very unique. Very, very chashuv fruits. And befrat shivas aminim from Eretz Yisrael. Oh boy, you know what's going on in that? Mamish, the kedusha that's in a pear of shivas aminim. Tzaddikim are marked with gomer and Tu B'Shvat at the bracha shmi and the shivas aminim peri from Eretz Yisrael, the biggest delight in the world. There were tzaddikim that had all different pears. But there was one shvachet pear, but that came from Eretz Yisrael. For them, that was Chava Malay, the Kedushas are just more Chava than any fancy fruit in the world. Learn the rest. Because also, the sparks of Kedushas, the real Kedushas Megala that's in here, is such a bracha, such a Kedusha, such a Simcha. And therefore, when a Yid is Zoicha onto B'Shvat, to be misboinen in the nisim of how the Eibishter created, all the Achila, all the Daimon Tzemei Chaim Adaber, everything in the Bria, and being Mamlech the Eibishter, is a tremendous ha'alas on its own, tremendous up moving, a returning to Shoirish Nitzchi and the Olmas of Yonim of tremendous sparks of Kedusha that were brought down. A lot of times things happened. The Rafakim says that this through our avodas the Tzotzis HaKadoshos fell, but through the Birchas and Henin and the Akora, a big Mamlech the Eibishter, there's a huge, tremendous halos and the Tzotzis that go on. And when did the Eibishter give this Heilige Yom Tov, this Tu B'Shvat, this Rosh Hashanah Leimanis, smack in the middle of Shovim? Because through the Birchas and Henin B'Chlal, when a person trains himself to be Mizboinin as Achila and eats Heilig, that creates that the whole essence of that person becomes Kodesh. It becomes Heilig. Like we said the story from the Heilig of Yisrael. The food makes you Heilig. The Tzotzit makes you Heilig. If you eat it right and you make the brachas right, and the fact that the Eibishter gave it to us in Tu B'Shvat in the middle of Shovim is because the Eibishter mitoich hava, we know that the Svarim Geshem reckon out many times why the Yom Tovim are where they are. And here we see clearly that the Eibishter with the Chrachma B'Chasadav is huge. He just is begging us, just wake up and tune in. Just wake up and tune in. I gave you everything. I gave you Shovim. In Shovim, I gave you Tu B'Shvat. Just look at me and talk to me. Make breakfast and be misboined to me. Be mamluchli once again. I gave you another Rosh Hashanah. You feel you didn't do right the first Rosh Hashanah? Here's a new Rosh Hashanah. It's Chadsha. Start everything over again. Clean slate yourself. And it's big opportunity. So therefore, we have to use the opportunities and not be afraid to make that move as much as we could. Not more big steps, we fall and trip. But small steps, consistently. And we result a very great tshuva and great madregas and great being mamlich the Eibishter once and forever and forever. With Mr. Mikdash and Mashiach. Amen.